Let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually looked up at your kitchen exhaust cover? I mean, really looked at it. Go ahead, take a peek right now if you can. I'll wait. If you're anything like most people, what you're seeing up there is probably shocking you a little bit, maybe a lot. That thick, sticky, yellowish-brown grease coating every single inch of it, that grimy film that seems like it's been baked on since the last decade, that layer of gunk that makes you wonder, how did it even get this bad? And here's the thing. You're not alone, not even close. That exhaust cover, whether it's above your stove or built into your range hood, is one of the most neglected spots in the entire kitchen. And it's not because people don't care, it's because cleaning it has always felt like such a massive, impossible chore. You scrub and scrub, your arms get tired, the grease just smears around, and after 20 minutes of hard work, it somehow still looks dirty. It's one of the most frustrating cleaning experiences there is. I know because I've been there. I've stood on a step stool with a sponge and a bottle of dish soap, scrubbing away at that cover with everything I had, and walked away feeling defeated. The grease just laughs at you. It's stubborn, it's sticky, and it does not go down without a fight. Or so we thought. Because today, everything changes. Today, I'm going to show you a method that completely transformed how I clean my kitchen exhaust cover. No hard scrubbing, no specialty chemicals, no expensive products you have to order online. Just a few simple things you almost certainly already have sitting in your kitchen right now. And a process so easy, so satisfying, that you're going to want to do it today. And here's the part that's going to really get you. It works in about 10 minutes, maybe less. I timed it myself. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to look at that exhaust cover in a whole new way. And more importantly, you're going to know exactly how to make it look like it just came out of the box. Problem explanation. So let's talk about what we're actually dealing with here, because understanding the problem is what makes the solution so satisfying. Every single time you cook, whether you're frying bacon, sautéing onions, boiling pasta, or simmering a pot of soup, your stove releases tiny droplets of oil and grease into the air. Most of us don't even think about it. The food smells wonderful, steam rises, and we go about our business. But those microscopic grease particles, they float upward, and your exhaust cover, also called a range hood filter or vent cover, catches them. That's its job. That's what it's designed to do. And it does that job every single day. Week after week, month after month, year after year. Those tiny grease droplets pile up one on top of another, slowly building into that thick, sticky coating you see up there now. Over time, heat from your stove bakes that grease right onto the metal surface. Dust sticks to it, more grease sticks on top of that, the color deepens, the texture gets stickier, and before you know it, you've got what I like to call the grease monster living right above your stove. Now, here's something that most people don't realize, and this is important. A clogged, greasy exhaust cover doesn't just look bad, it actually stops working properly. When grease builds up in the filter or on the cover, the airflow gets blocked. That means smoke, steam, and cooking odors stay in your kitchen instead of getting pulled out. It also means your exhaust fan has to work harder, which can wear it out faster. And in extreme cases, and I want to say this gently but clearly, a heavily grease-coated cover near an open flame can become a fire hazard. So this isn't just about appearances. This is about your kitchen working the way it should and about keeping your home safe. The good news? Once you know this simple method, staying on top of it is almost effortless. But first, let's tackle what you've got right now. What you need. Here's what I love most about this method. Everything on this list is probably already in your home right now. You don't need to make a special trip to the store. You don't need to spend money on fancy degreasers or industrial cleaning sprays. This is all simple, affordable, and completely safe, which is especially important if you have sensitive skin or you prefer to avoid harsh chemicals in your home. Here's what you'll need. First, baking soda. Good old baking soda, the same box you might have in your refrigerator or your pantry. This is one of the most powerful gentle cleaners in nature, and we're going to put it to work today. Second, dish soap. Your regular dish soap, whatever brand you already use. Dawn works beautifully, but honestly, any grease-cutting dish soap will do the job. Third, white vinegar, plain white distilled vinegar, which you can find at any grocery store for just a couple of dollars. If you do a lot of home cleaning, you probably already have a big jug of it somewhere. Fourth, very hot water. Not boiling, we don't want burns, but as hot as your tap will give you, or water you've heated in a kettle or pot. Heat is absolutely key to this whole process, and I'll explain why in just a moment. Fifth, a large container or baking dish, something big enough to submerge your exhaust cover. A roasting pan works perfectly. A large plastic storage bin works great too. Even your kitchen sink if it's big enough. And finally, a soft cloth or sponge for a very light wipe down at the end. That's it. No scrubbing brushes required, no elbow grease needed, just a gentle final pass. Got everything? Perfect. Let's do this.
Step-by-step process. Step 1. Remove the exhaust cover. The very first thing we're going to do is take that cover down. Now, I know that sounds intimidating, but I promise you it is much easier than it looks. Most kitchen exhaust covers simply slide out or pop off with a gentle push. If yours is a mesh filter style, look for a small tab or handle along the edge. Give it a firm push upward, then pull it down and toward you. Many of them come out in just a few seconds once you know the trick. If yours has screws, just grab a simple screwdriver and take them out. Usually there are only 2 or 3. Set the screws somewhere safe, like a small bowl on your counter, so you don't lose them. Take a moment right now to notice how it looks. Really take it in. That sticky, brownish, greasy mess, because you're going to want to remember this moment when you see what it looks like in just a few minutes. The transformation is going to feel absolutely wonderful. Step 2. Prepare your soaking solution. This is where the magic begins, and it all comes down to chemistry, the very simple, very safe kind. Take your large container or baking dish and place it in your sink or on your counter. Now pour in your very hot water, enough to cover the exhaust cover completely when you place it inside. The heat here is doing something really important. Hot water causes the grease molecules to loosen and soften. Grease is essentially solidified oil, and just like butter melts when you heat it, the heat from the water begins to break down the grease's grip on the metal. Now add 2 to 3 generous tablespoons of baking soda directly into the hot water. Give it a little stir. You might see it fizz slightly. That's perfectly normal and actually a good sign. Baking soda is mildly alkaline, which means it naturally breaks down grease and oil. It also acts as a gentle abrasive, but without scratching the metal surface. It's working on a chemical level, not a mechanical one, which means no scrubbing required. Next, add a good squeeze of your dish soap, about a tablespoon or so. Your dish soap is specifically designed to cut through grease. That's literally what it was made for. It attaches to the grease molecules and pulls them away from the surface. Now, if you want to give this solution an extra boost, and I highly recommend it, add about a 1/4 cup of white vinegar. Vinegar is mildly acidic, and when you combine an alkaline like baking soda, you get a gentle but powerful fizzing reaction that helps lift the gunk off the surface even faster. Together, these ingredients work like a cleaning team, each one targeting the grease from a different angle. Give the whole mixture a gentle stir to combine everything, and then take a good sniff. It might smell a little vinegary at first, but that smell dissipates quickly and leaves absolutely no chemical residue behind. This is completely safe for your home. Step 3. Submerge the exhaust cover. Now carefully lower your exhaust cover into the soaking solution. Make sure it's fully submerged. If it keeps floating up, you can place a heavy dish or pot on top to hold it down. And now here's the part where we practice patience and trust the process. Let it soak. For light to moderate grease buildup, soak for about 5 to 10 minutes. For covers that have been neglected for a long time, and there's absolutely no judgment here, life gets busy. You can let it soak for 15 to 20 minutes. Here's the thing most people miss with any soaking method. They get impatient. They check it after 2 minutes, see that it's not done yet, and start scrubbing. Don't do that. Let the solution do the work. The hot water, the baking soda, the soap, and the vinegar are all actively working together right now to break the bond between that grease and the metal. The longer you let it sit, the less work you'll have to do at the end. Go have a cup of coffee. Sit down for a few minutes. rest. Because honestly, that's one of the best parts of this method. You're not doing anything strenuous. You're just waiting, and good things are happening in that container while you relax. Step 4. The gentle rinse and final wipe. When your soak time is up, here comes the most satisfying part of the whole process. Carefully lift the exhaust cover out of the solution. Be mindful that the water may still be warm. Hold it over the sink and pour fresh hot water over it. Watch what happens. The grease will begin sliding right off, like it was never attached in the first place. That thick, sticky coating that seemed so permanent just melts away with the water. Go ahead and take your soft cloth or sponge and give the cover one gentle, easy pass on both sides. We're not scrubbing here. We're just guiding the last few bits of loosened grease off the surface. If there's a small, stubborn spot, and occasionally there is one, just dip that spot back in the solution for another minute or two and try again. It will come off. Once you're happy with how it looks, and I'm telling you, you are going to be extremely happy, give it a final rinse under clean running water to wash away any remaining soap or vinegar. Lay it flat on a clean, dry dish towel or paper towels and let it air dry for a few minutes. You can also gently pat it dry with a clean cloth if you'd like to put it back right away. Take one more look at it before you reinstall it. Hold it up toward the light. Notice how it shines. Notice how the mesh or surface is clear and open again, the way it was when it was brand new. Notice the color, clean, bright metal instead of that dingy brown. Run your finger across it lightly. Smooth. No stickiness, no residue, just clean. Slide or screw it back into place and step back for a moment.
Final results. Now look at that. Do you see the difference? Really look at it. Compare it to that mental image you had when you first looked up at it at the beginning of this video. That tired, grease-coated, gloomy exhaust cover is completely gone. In its place is something that genuinely looks fresh, clean, and new. The mesh is open again, which means your exhaust fan can actually do its job. Air flows freely. Grease and smoke will be properly vented out of your kitchen again. The whole area above your stove looks cleaner, brighter, and more pleasant to cook near. And here's the emotional part that I didn't expect the first time I did this. It feels good. Not just satisfying in a practical way, but genuinely uplifting. There's something powerful about taking something that seemed hopeless and dirty and making it clean and beautiful again with your own two hands, using simple things from your own kitchen. No professionals needed, no expensive products, just you, some baking soda, dish soap, white vinegar, and hot water. You did that, and it took maybe 10 minutes of your actual time plus some relaxing wait time while the solution did the work. That's the kind of win that makes you want to look around the rest of your kitchen and ask, what else can I tackle today? Maintenance tips. Now that your exhaust cover is beautifully clean, let me share a couple of simple habits that will make sure it never gets to that extreme grease buildup stage again, because prevention is always easier than treatment. Once a month, give your exhaust cover a quick visual check. It only takes a few seconds. If you notice a light film beginning to form, do a short 10-minute soak just like we did today. Catching it early means the grease hasn't had time to harden and bake on, which means the soak will work even faster next time. If you cook a lot of fried foods, things like bacon, fried chicken, stir fry, or anything in a hot skillet with oil, consider doing a quick soak every 3 weeks instead of monthly. Heavy cooking means heavier grease buildup, so you'll want to stay ahead of it. Another small tip, while you're cooking, make sure your exhaust fan is actually turned on. I know this sounds obvious, but so many of us forget. When the fan is running, it actively pulls those grease particles up and away before they can settle onto the cover, or worse, onto your cabinets and walls. Running the fan consistently will dramatically reduce how often your cover needs to be cleaned. And one final tip, after you finish cooking, let the fan run for a few extra minutes even after you've turned off the stove. This helps clear out any remaining steam and grease particles lingering in the air. It's a tiny habit that makes a big difference over time. So there you have it, the simplest, most satisfying way to clean a greasy exhaust cover. No harsh chemicals, no hard scrubbing, no frustration, and no spending a penny on anything you don't already have at home. I want you to try this today, right now if you can. Walk to your kitchen, look up at that exhaust cover, and know that in just a few minutes, using baking soda, dish soap, white vinegar, and hot water, you can have it looking brand new again. You deserve a clean kitchen that works properly. You deserve to cook in a space that feels good and fresh and taken care of. And now you have the exact tools and knowledge to make that happen. Once you try it, I genuinely want to hear from you. Leave me a comment below and tell me how it went. How long did it take? Was the transformation as dramatic as mine was? Did you surprise yourself? Every comment means the world to me, and I read each and every one of them. And if this video helped you, if it saved you time, frustration, or just made your day a little brighter, please give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend or family member who might be dealing with the same grimy exhaust cover situation. We all know at least one person who needs this. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that little bell icon so you never miss a new video. Because coming up next, I'm going to show you another incredible no-scrub cleaning secret. This one is for the inside of your oven. You know that thick, burnt-on black crust that seems absolutely impossible to remove? I found a way to lift it off almost completely hands-free, and I cannot wait to share it with you. Until then, thank you so much for spending this time with me. Go enjoy your clean kitchen. You've earned it.